Roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
This is Senior Real Estate Specialist Bruce Nemovitz of Bruce's team. We're honored to help seniors and their families traverse the journey of selling their longtime homes and moving to the lifestyle they deserve. With over 35 years of experience, Bruce's team is here to help take you from overwhelmed to I can do this. Get started today and call 262-242-6177 or visit brucesteam.com.
Let's see who the Brewers are playing today. It's the Mets.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Vientos K. Nimmo K. Alonso K.
Our coverage of Game 1 of the Wild Card Series starts today at 3:55. Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental on your home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 11:02. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Tuesday, October 1st. Your top story, tensions escalate in the Middle East.
I'm Jessica Ty. The road to the White House makes stops in Milwaukee today.
Partly cloudy and breezy today, much cooler than yesterday at a high of 67. Wind gusting up to 25 miles an hour. Going to be chilly tonight, dipping down into the upper 30s inland. Wednesday, sunny with a high of 72. It's 64 in Milwaukee at 11:02 from the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom. Iran is set to launch its own missile strikes on Israel, and the State Department is telling U.S. personnel and their families to shelter in place. This as Israel appears to be planning a ground incursion into Lebanon to push back Hezbollah fighters and their operations. The BBC's Anna Foster is in Beirut.
We know that Israel were targeting Hezbollah's senior command structure here in the southern suburbs of Beirut, in Dahir, where they're based. We know, of course, that on Friday they killed the leader of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah. They say that they have killed many of Hezbollah's senior commanders.
The United States has pledged to defend Israel.
Decision Wisconsin. It's a busy day in the race for president, especially here in the Badger State. Former President Donald Trump is back in our area just days after his campaign stop in Prairie du Chien. He'll speak at Dane Manufacturing in Waunakee at 1:30 this afternoon. Then he heads here to Milwaukee for a talk at Discovery World at 5 p.m. Also in Milwaukee this evening, second gentleman Doug Emhoff. He's expected to speak at 4:05 this evening. The location has not been publicly disclosed. And this all leads up to the first and potentially only vice presidential debate on CBS tonight. Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz will debate in New York City at 8 p.m. our time.
Parents and community members expressing skepticism toward Milwaukee Public Schools' recently released long-term facilities plan that could include some school closures or mergers.
How do we know that whatever we give you, our questions, our answers, our thoughts, our concerns are going to go anywhere that's going to benefit us?
Whoever you have on your board right now, if you don't have some community people, pump the brakes.
The plan's manager, Nathan Morris, says nothing concerning schools' futures is set in stone.
Our goal is to say, looking forward, what can MPS do differently?
The facilities plan will be finished next month and then submitted to the Board of School Directors.
The Brewers begin a quest to return to the World Series, and with a fall chill in the air today, the team confirms the roof at American Family Field will be closed for this afternoon's game. Brewers manager Pat Murphy telling Wisconsin's Morning News, especially with the timing of the game, roof open or closed can make a difference.
You know, there's some pretty stiff shadows sometimes, but you just like it to be fair for everybody. And, you know, sometimes the shadows play havoc, but yeah, you can't worry about it. It's playoff time. It's all bets are off. Just get it done.
Brewers and Mets, 4:32 is the first pitch from American Family Field. Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the red today, with the Dow currently down about 120 points at 42,209. NASDAQ lagging about 290 points at 17,900. S&P 500 is down about 51 at 5711. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
A look ahead to the Brew Cruise. Big days ahead. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:05.
As you age, you start noticing pain in your joints that didn't used to be there. But you don't have to live in pain. When joint pain becomes a reality, schedule your free pain evaluation with Rejuvenex. We'll find where your pain lives and inject powerful, FDA-approved medicines that reduce inflammation and pain, while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees, with some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. While treatments like stem cells can cost close to $10,000 per joint, at Rejuvenex, the cost for your injection can be as low as $65, and almost all major insurance plans cover our treatments, so you may not have to pay anything at all. Call us now to schedule your free pain evaluation, because I'm pretty sure we can help you. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Dan, I love what we do at Inspired Closets.
Can you count the ways?
First of all, we're 100% locally owned, helping families in southeast Wisconsin calm the chaos and eliminate stress. We're not a franchise. And our lifetime warranty and price match guarantee.
Yes, Katie. Milwaukee homeowners have trusted the Anheuser family for 55 years for our commitment to quality, service, and competitive prices.
And we get to work together.
Yeah, that too. Buy local and save money today. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
A wife and husband team.
Vince Vitrano for Johnson & Sons Paving. Summer is here, but before we know it, we'll be prepping for winter. Johnson & Sons Paving wants to make sure you're ready by remembering the 3 R's of parking lot and asphalt maintenance. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's standing water, warping, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare those customers or tenants away with a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today to make those minor repairs before they become huge headaches. Visit johnsonsonspaving.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Brewers begin the postseason this afternoon against the Mets. Game 1 of a best-of-3 wild card series with Freddie Peralta earning the Game 1 start for Pat Murphy.
Having Freddie on the mound in Game 1 is good. Doesn't guarantee us anything, but I trust him. So we'll go as far as we can with him and then go to the next guy and next guy and next guy and try to do what we can to win tonight.
Coverage of today's game begins at 3:55. Brewers playoff coverage and the hunt for Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental. Meanwhile, the Packers travel to Los Angeles to face the Rams Sunday afternoon for a 3:25 kick. It's likely the Packers will be without wide receiver Christian Watson, who suffered an ankle injury in Sunday's loss to the Vikings.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. There is one crash to let you know about at this hour. It's in Ozaukee County. I-43 north at Wisconsin 60. Right shoulder is blocked due to a crash, so heads up if you're headed that way. I-43 north at Wisconsin 60. Right shoulder is blocked right now because of an accident.
Traffic is sponsored by Richlands Tire and Service Center.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
We're going to feel a little more fall-like today with temperatures topping out about 67 degrees. Wind going to be gusty as well. Partly cloudy skies. Chilly tonight and a low of 39 inland. Sunny on Wednesday and a high of 72. Sunny on Thursday and a high of 75. It's 63 and mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 11:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
So every once in a while, I get a notification on my phone that alerts me of a significant emergency happening at the Matzik household.
Oh, geez, a significant emergency.
Well, Roomba is stuck near a cliff, and I'm concerned that it's just going to topple down the stairs and end up in the living room, and it's going to creep out the dog. I thought it had a smarter mind than that, our robot vacuum. Hopefully it knows not to jump. But please, Roomba, if you're listening, and I know you are, just go back to your home. It's okay.
Yes,
finish up your
home,
duties later.
Charge back up. Sometimes, though, with the Roomba, it's such a great idea just on the face of it. But I know there's some of you out there. Sometimes it takes me longer to and I have a very clean, put-together house. Sometimes I just have piles, like, okay, mail here, mail there. But ultimately, it's a very clean house. But you got to move things or make sure the scarf isn't down on the bottom or make sure the blanket on the couch isn't down. Sometimes I feel like it takes me longer to do all that and get it ready for Roomba to do its thing than it does for Roomba to do its thing.
Well, more about vacuuming habits coming out throughout the program here today in Wisconsin's Midday News. Some big stories that we're following here this morning.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, the playoffs begin today for the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers host the New York Mets in a best-of-3 wildcard series in Milwaukee. The Brewers beat the Mets 5 times in 6 opportunities during the regular season, despite the Mets having a payroll $200 million more than Milwaukee's. The Brewers enter the postseason the youngest team vying for a World Series, but that doesn't bother manager Pat Murphy.
We didn't have a player that underachieved, and they understand the way they got here. They did it by pulling together and playing a certain way.
The Brewers' most experienced playoff pitcher, Freddie Peralta, will start Game 1. Parking lots open 3 hours before first pitch, which is 4:32 today. Brewers playoff coverage and the hunt for Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental.
It's kind of a buzz around the office, too. You notice that? I'm guessing people are feeling that if they're at work listening to us. It's just a different little pep in your step for a Tuesday. Tuesdays don't normally feel like this. There's something different, something bigger happening today, of course. I like games at weird times. 4:32 is definitely a weird time.
Well, and isn't it a great time, though, if you think about it? Because a noon game, not as many people will be able to go to that.
Sure.
So 4:32, maybe you get out of work a little bit early, go over there. The kids can go as well. So
I like
think,
it.
Yeah. Good things about that time.
Debate night. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Senator J.D. Vance will face off tonight in a debate featuring vice presidential candidates just 35 days away from the election. 90 minutes, no audience, microphones will be hot. That's the basics. Likely the final debate before November 5th. ABC's chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce.
Already both campaigns are trying to lower expectations. That's while sources have told reporters the Minnesota governor is nervous. And we know he did warn Harris during the vetting process that he's a bad debater. Now, both men have been intensely preparing with mock debates. Tonight, a chance for them to further introduce themselves to voters. But they know most Americans make their pick based on who's at the top of the ticket.
Each candidate will get 2 minutes to answer questions and respond to each question, and 1 minute for additional rebuttals. And the event will be televised by CBS.
I'm going to be watching to see if they have to hit that mute button. Mics are going to be hot, but they can use it if they need to.
Right.
I don't think they'll need to, but we'll see. Number 3, the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. The death toll continues to go up. At least 130 people are now dead across 6 states. The fear of that number going up even more, it is not gone at this point. Hundreds of people have been reported missing, perhaps unable to leave their location or unable to contact family, where communications infrastructure is in shreds. ABC's Faith Abube has the latest.
Already both campaigns are trying to lower expectations. That's while sources have told reporters the Minnesota governor is nervous. And we know he did warn Harris during the vetting process that he's a bad debater. Now, both men have been intensely preparing with mock debates. Tonight, a chance for them to further introduce themselves to voters. But they know most Americans make their pick based on who's at the top of the ticket.
Hundreds of roads remain closed in the Carolinas, hampering the delivery of badly needed supplies. Some areas are so hard to get to right now, Greg, that supplies are being delivered by mules and by air.
That's crazy to think about, right? You've seen some of the imagery here. Literally, a line of mules just bringing goods into areas that vehicles cannot go. And President Biden is going to do a helicopter sweep of the area on Wednesday because so much of the roads are closed off. His motorcade can't get through. And go into the areas that it would likely need to. So it'll be more of a survey from the skies of the damage. And it's so much more inland in North Carolina. This is not a coastal issue specifically for the Carolinas. Far more inland. The western half of North Carolina, including Asheville, just devastated, blown apart.
I mean, it made landfall pretty fast and then quickly moved fast.
No doubt about that. Another big story here, the union dock workers from Texas to Maine, 45,000 on strike. Are they inching closer to an agreement? We'll check in with ABC's Derek Dennis after this.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 2. Get the most up-to-date financial advice and the freshest thinking on investments, tax strategies, estate planning, and more. You'll learn how our team-based approach at Creative Planning helps ensure all aspects of your wealth are working harder together. Don't settle for anything less than a customized and comprehensive financial plan and portfolio. Give your wealth a second look by going to creativeplanning.com/radio.
Hey, it is back. You might remember this from about a year ago, the Sidex Creepiest Bathroom Contest. All right, think about your bathroom. Is it gross? Is it creepy? Got that 70s tile thing going on. If your shower and tub space is looking like something straight out of a horror movie, here is your chance. A full makeover valued up to $10,000. All you got to do is this. Take a picture of your shower and tub space. Text the word creepy to the WTMJ talk and text line. It's 855-616-1620. You can submit your picture, and you could win a full conversion from our friends at Sidex. They did this about a year ago, and it was fantastic. Some of the bathrooms out there truly in need of a makeover, and I know one fan really enjoyed the experience. It's the Sidex Creepiest Bathroom Contest. For contest rules, visit our website, WTMJ.com. And if your bathroom isn't very old or not very creepy, it's okay. You might still be in the market for a new tub or shower conversion. Send a picture anyway and have some creepy fun with it. It's the Sidex Creepiest Bathroom Contest.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This Thursday, Milwaukee PBS and Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel present a special town hall meeting on the future of manufacturing. This open-to-the-public event will be held at the Cooley Auditorium at MATC downtown campus. This event is being recorded for a special television broadcast, and a job fair will also take place. The Future of Manufacturing Town Hall Thursday at MATC's Cooley Auditorium. Job fair at 3, town hall begins at 4:30. For more information, visit MilwaukeePBS.org.
A little cooler today with the high topping out about 67. Going to be breezy as well. If you're headed to the game, maybe bring a jacket. Roof is going to be closed for our 4:32 first pitch. Tonight, chilly and a low of 39 inland. Tomorrow looks beautiful and a high of 72 under mostly sunny skies. 63 and sunny in Milwaukee at 11:17. Another big story here. Union dock workers from Texas to Maine on strike after failing to reach an agreement on a new contract. That's what it sounds like on the picket lines at Port Houston. They're chanting fight automation and save jobs. They want higher wages. They want automation to take a back seat. ABC's Derek Dennis is covering the story. Derek, any movement here? Is there any light at the end of the tunnel for this strike?
We're getting some word that there's been some progress in the talks from yesterday to today. The workers had been demanding a 77% wage increase over 6 years. The companies had offered about a 40% pay increase, and so somewhere there's been some movement between 40% and 77%. But that's all we know. Nothing on the automation demand that the workers, want a ban on automation for some jobs at ports, across the Northeast, down the East Coast, and into the Southeast. They're worried that automation will take their jobs and the jobs of those following in their footsteps. And so the pickets have been very active at various ports from Maine to Maryland, Miami to Texas. But we're now, about 12 hours into this strike, and it doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon.
I think the automation part of this is just fascinating. I mean, it really speaks to 2024, and it makes me wonder if a contract moving forward can totally ban automation. I don't know if that's going to happen these days, but let's bring it back to the people and everybody. Here in Wisconsin, some people might be saying, okay, how is this going to impact me? Well, it's possible it does.
Yeah.
These ports handle about half of U.S. ocean imports. What products are we talking about?
We're talking about cars, car parts, clothing, electronics, you name it almost. I mean, a lot of things come on ships and into these ports and then get put on trucks and to stores nationwide. And so the impact is great. And not to mention the overall impact on the economy. I mean, there are some estimates out there that this strike could cost $5 billion a day in productivity for the U.S. economy. And so the impact, even if you don't live in a port community, like Wisconsin, you could start feeling the effects in the days ahead.
Derek, I was just going to ask about that. What is the timeline? How quickly could we see prices go up?
Well, it depends on the products. There's pictures of ships just sort of idling in harbors near these ports across the country. So depending on what's on those ships, if there's a demand for certain items that are out of stock at your neighborhood store, and those products are on these ships, prices could go up for what's left until the strike is over and those products get put on trucks and get to area stores. So it really just depends. But by all accounts, economists say every day that the strike goes on, the impact is great. The devastating effects on the U.S. economy it could be great and will be great. It's not good, and we know that the Biden administration is in talks with both sides. But right now, just adding pressure is about all the Biden administration is willing to do at this point.
Yeah, you kind of led me down the path here just in time for the holiday shopping season, right? And things already cost a little more than we're used to. So at what point does the White House intervene and say just enough is enough here? We got to make this right for our consumers who are entering a very busy and hectic time of the year.
Yeah, it's tough to say. President Biden is a union guy. He's prided himself on that, and so he's been reluctant to intervene in any labor union issues and strikes. But that said, the president does have the power to institute the Taft-Hartley Act, which could force these striking workers back to work and off the picket lines. No indication he's going to use that. He has it within his power, but barring any foreseen circumstances or a really lengty strike, it doesn't seem like President Biden's going to be willing to do that. But we'll see, how long it lasts. I mean, every day is a hit to the U.S. economy for sure.
Yeah, and what is the ripple effect here? Because even if the strike lasts, say, just a week, it's still messing up the global supply chain. And then I just think about trying to get everything back on track to get going again.
Right. I mean, you've got ships that are sort of backed up, outside the ports, so they have to be in line to unload, to dock and unload, and then get on trucks to head out across the country. So the backlog alone, we're talking about days, just to sort of get the ships in order to dock. So, who knows how long the ripple effect will be, but it's at least days, stretching into weeks and months even if it goes on that long.
ABC's Derek Dennis. We appreciate your time, Derek. Thank you.
Sure.
It's 11:23 on WTMJ. Hey, coming up next, one of the tallest peaks in the world is getting taller. Explain after this.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Rate Watcher Brian Wickert. Well, the Federal Reserve finally cut their overnight interest rate by 0.5%. But mortgage rates already had this cut baked in. Good news is AccuNet can deliver a 30-year fixed APR between 5.7% and 6.4% on a $260,000 30-year fixed rate loan with 25% down payment and all the other best attributes. The APR depends on how much you want to spend in closing costs and a lot of other factors. Now, will lower mortgage rates get more homeowners to list their homes for sale? Maybe a little, but it's almost certain more buyers will come off the sidelines, which is why you need a highly skilled AccuNet loan consultant more than ever, along with our rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to help get your offer accepted. It's also a good time to take a look at a genuine zero loan cost refi. Whatever you do, don't settle for a flimsy pre-approval or high closing costs from your bank or other lender. Click on the blue button today for a no-pressure refi checkup or to get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
Julia Fellow here for Elmbrook Family Dental. Their patient Michelle just sent us this note about how easy the patient process is at elmbrookfamilydental.com and welcoming they are to families. They have 2 convenient locations in Brookfield and a 3rd office brand new in Wauwatosa at 800 Mayfair Road. She wrote, the staff and providers are so kind. They went above and beyond with my daughter's first ever dentist appointment. I love this place. So do I, Michelle. Head to elmbrookfamilydental.com. That's ELMBROOK FamilyDental.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
So the tallest peaks in the world, the majority of them are located in Nepal and Tibet, which is not a shock because Mount Everest, the tallest peak in the world at over 29,000 feet, is located in the Himalayas, Nepal and Tibet. Amazingly, the tallest peak in the world is getting taller.
Researchers from University College London say Mount Everest has grown by as much as 164 feet in the past 89,000 years, a blink of the eye in geological terms. They say a nearby river has eroded so much material from Everest that the mountain has become lighter, floating a little higher on the semi-liquid mantle beneath the Earth's crust. And they say it continues to grow about 0.8 of an inch per decade. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
At what point do you feel that, right? If you're scaling Mount Everest and you're trying to get to the top, you're like, well, wait a minute now. This seems a little taller than I remember.
Wow.
Or that I've read about.
So it's having a growth spurt. I've been waiting for that for decades. I think I'm just getting shorter at this point.
It did stop about 16, 17, right?
Did you hear her say, though, it's getting taller and lighter? That's what people are like taking Ozempic for these days.
Exactly. Very interesting stuff. 11:26 on WTMJ. I've had no desire to ever scale Mount Everest. A friend of mine and I talked about hiking Mount Kilimanjaro at one point in our lives. We opted for a trip to Ireland and Amsterdam instead. That seemed a little more fun and entertaining.
You did the Cliffs of Moher, hiked those.
And some mountain peaks, you talk about the tallest peaks in the world. Well, some mountain ranges are so far buried into the ocean, so far down that if you took all of that and put it above land, it might be near or competing with Everest, but there's so much water covering it that its actual peak is much lower. But interesting stuff. So if you're climbing Mount Everest, it's a little taller maybe than you remember from your history books. It's 11:27 on WTMJ. News coming up in a couple.
When Senator Tammy Baldwin first went to Washington, the big news story was Y2K. And we were partying like it was 1999. Baldwin has been in D.C. for more than 25 years. And after a quarter century, her values are a lot more Washington than Wisconsin. Baldwin supported providing puberty blockers and sex change surgeries to minor children in Wisconsin. And Baldwin supports forcing women's domestic violence shelters in Wisconsin to admit biological men who claim to identify as women. Even though domestic violence survivors say it would be traumatic to be forced to sleep in the same shelters as men. Tammy Baldwin, 25 years in Washington, has changed her, and now she's just too extreme for Wisconsin. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Hey, we're inviting you here at WTMJ to participate in our fall 2024 fan survey. Looking for your help here. It'll take you a little less than 10 minutes, and we're looking for feedback. If you'd like to participate, just text the word survey. That's survey to the WTMJ talk and text line. Numbers 855-616-1620. Text the word survey to 855-616-1620. We'll send you a link right to your mobile device. And as a thank you for participating, upon completion, you'll be automatically entered to win a package that includes a pair of Bucks tickets for the upcoming regular season, which gets started later this month, and an overnight stay at the Fisters. So help us out here. Text the word survey to 855-616-1620.
Your only option is to replace your air conditioner, your boiler, your furnace. Vince Vitrano here for Absolute Comfort HVAC and Electrical, talking with the owner, Nicole. How about a second opinion?
Yes, our approach is different than most. We care for your home like it is our own. As owners, we personally come in and provide a variety of options to help you make the best decision for you and your family. So before you do any work, you can get our professional opinion that you can trust.
Absolute Comfort HVAC and Electrical, 262-664-9284, yourcomfortguys.com.
It's 11:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. We flip the calendar. It's Tuesday, October 1st. Your top story, an investigation into a deadly crash.
I'm Jessica Ty. The ballot drop box is back.
Well, we have confirmation the roof is going to be closed for this afternoon's Brewers game. Understandably so. Partly cloudy, breezy, a little cooler today, wind gusting to 25 miles per hour, and a high of 67 degrees. Going to be very chilly tonight, 47 near the lake, and we'll dip into the upper 30s if you're inland. Wednesday looks great, sunny with a high of 72. Thursday looks very similar. Thursday with a sunny high of 75 degrees. No rain in the forecast here for the next several days. That could change toward the back end of the week. Right now in Madison, it's 67. Waukesha, 67. Milwaukee, it's 64 and sunny.
This is a special report from ABC News, Israel on Edge. I'm Michelle Franzen. Reports of a shooting incident taking place in Tel Aviv. According to an Israeli police spokesperson, there are multiple casualties and the initial suspicion of motive is terror. It comes as a senior administration official tells ABC's Martha Raddatz Iran is expected to launch 240 to 250 missiles in 2 waves at 4 targets in Israel, Mossad headquarters, and 3 air bases. Israel is not expected to launch a preemptive strike. Those missiles could take less than 15 minutes to reach targets once launched. ABC's Marcus Moore is in the region and says the White House issued a statement earlier.
We are actively supporting defensive preparations to defend Israel against the attack, and that a direct military attack from Iran against Israel will carry severe consequences for Iran.
In central Israel, residents are being advised by Israeli officials to stay close to safe rooms. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:31. The interstate system where 94 meets 41 became the scene of a deadly hit-and-run Monday evening.
The all-lane closure of 94 westbound started at the scene of the crash near Moreland Road in Waukesha County, but quickly extended all the way to the Zoo interchange. The DOT says a 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee struck the median wall, lost control, and crossed all lanes of traffic, then striking the concrete barrier on the right shoulder. All 3 occupants of the vehicle were transported to the hospital. 93-year-old Mary Phyllis of Colgate died of her injuries. The driver, 57-year-old Elizabeth Phyllis, and 70-year-old Deborah Godis, also from Colgate, are expected to be all right. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
And authorities are still looking for the hit-and-run driver.
The absentee ballot drop box is back in Wausau. The city's lone drop box is now secured to the ground outside City Hall, according to the guidelines set by the Wisconsin Elections Commission. The issue with the drop box started on September 22nd when Wausau's mayor removed the box, claiming it wasn't secure and that it should be up to the city council to decide whether it should be used. Wausau's clerk sent a letter to the mayor telling him to return the drop box by noon last Friday, or she would conclude that he was intentionally interfering with an election. When the box initially wasn't returned, the clerk referred the incident to the Wisconsin Elections Commission and the Marathon County District Attorney for review. There were no ballots inside that drop box when it was removed.
Providing help to inmates who have hearing disabilities. The Wisconsin Department of Corrections will now provide incarcerated folks who are deaf or hard of hearing with hearing aids, sign language interpreters, and video telephones. It comes from a settlement with the Justice Department after violations of the Americans with Disabilities Act. The DOC will pay $15,000 to compensate 3 inmates who are harmed without the aids.
Decision Wisconsin. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will appear on the ballot here in the Badger State, as decided by the state Supreme Court last week, but his support has plummeted. It's now at about 6%, according to the latest Marquette University Law School poll. The poll's director, Charles Franklin, tells WTMJ Kennedy is still likely to capture some votes.
People who support Kennedy this late in the game obviously have a reason why they don't want to vote for either Trump or Harris. And so the idea that they would automatically switch to Trump if he weren't on the ballot, I think is false.
In 2016, the Green Party and Libertarian Party each received more votes than what separated Trump and Hillary Clinton.
Brew October is here, and manager Pat Murphy tells Wisconsin's Morning News the time is now for his young crew to go on a playoff run.
Any one of these teams can get hot at the right time and win it all, so why not us?
Yeah, Brewers one of 12 teams left standing and vying for a World Series. It's Brewers and Mets this afternoon from American Family Field. First pitch at 4:32 right here on WTMJ. And Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental.
Sports, traffic, and weather next. Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:34.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's Dave from Feldco. Did drafty windows make last winter frigid? Listen, Feldco's here to make things easier for you. It's the perfect time of year to replace those old windows. Right now, get 50% off windows plus no interest for 1 year. You heard that right. 50% off plus no interest for 1 year. Visit us at 4feldco.com or give us a call at 866-4FELDCO.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4FELDCO.
People saw me and assumed I couldn't work. They only saw a disability, but I was ready to work. I am dependable, trainable, and productive. Then someone decided to believe in me and say yes.
And once you say yes, Thinkability Wisconsin will be there, providing transition and workforce support for people with disabilities and their employers to help shape a better future for all. It all starts when you say yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The postseason begins today for the Brewers. The Mets are in town again. Game 1 of a best-of-3 wildcard series begins this afternoon with a first pitch of 4:32. Freddie Peralta with the start for Pat Murphy.
Having Freddie on the mound in Game 1 is good. Doesn't guarantee us anything, but I trust him. So we'll go as far as we can with him and then go to the next guy and next guy and next guy and try to do what we can to win tonight.
Coverage of today's game begins at 3:55. Brewers playoff coverage and Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental. Packers travel to Los Angeles to take on the Rams Sunday for a 3:25 kick. Likely to play without wide receiver Christian Watson, who suffered an ankle injury during Sunday's loss to the Vikings.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. The one crash we had has since cleared. Only a couple disabled vehicles out on the system. Both are in Milwaukee County. The first one not too far from the zoo, 41-894 south at 41 south. Left shoulder is blocked there due to a car that's broken down. And then also up closer to Butler, there's a disabled vehicle on the exit to Hampton Avenue from 4145 north. So just a heads up there, not causing too many issues, but people are slowing down just a bit as they go by those.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
While you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line,
414-238-9329. Partly cloudy today, a little cooler. The roof is going to be closed for today's game. Good idea. 67 your high, 25 mile per hour winds and cloudy. Not a great day, feeling fall-like temperatures here. Tonight, cool, down to 39 degrees inland. Tomorrow, beautiful, 72 and sunny, 75 and sunny on Thursday. It's 64 degrees and the sun is out in Milwaukee at 11:38. All right, I get it. That's the usual theme song for Adam McKelvey, our Brewers.com writer. I prefer this today. I believe Adam McKelvey was just a wee lad with his notebook and paper and pen out writing game stories for stuff that he had seen on TV growing up when this song became official. Adam, happy playoff season.
Yeah, hey, happy playoff season and happy wild card series to Sal Frelick, who's on the Brewers roster for this round.
So I was just going to ask you that. So I know the roster for the wild card round was due, I think, at 10 o'clock, but they don't release it right away. So this is kind of breaking news, right? Are there, as you're looking at this, any surprises on the Brewers roster here?
Well, of course, this happens just as we come on the air. They always, I don't know if it's gamesmanship or I don't know why. Brewers are always the last team to put out their roster for these rounds. But it's 2 MLB at 10, so we were just getting our first look at it, and I think Sal's the only surprise. Aaron Savali is on, so, they've got like 3 different guys that they could pitch tomorrow, and Pat Murphy says that the Game 2 starter is TBD. It could be an opener. Frankie Montas has been throwing the ball pretty good for the Brewers. I would put him high on the list of candidates, but Savali, Montas, Myers are all on the roster.
So I feel like a lot of people were hoping we were going to play the Mets. And indeed, now we know we are. It's happening today, 4:32, first pitch. What do we need to know? And do you think they're going to be tired? Because I feel like they got to kind of be exhausted, which would be good for us Brewers fans.
Well, I mean, Edwin Diaz should be tired because he's the Mets closer. He pitched here Sunday, then he pitched 2 innings in Game 1 yesterday in the win that clinched it, a playoff spot for the Mets. So I think that's probably, if you're talking about, for this game, that's the biggest deal. But, I mean, if you think about it for the players, they played a game here Sunday. They have their charter flight fueled up and ready to go in Milwaukee. They got into Atlanta at some reasonable time in the evening, had a meal, woke up, played a doubleheader. Plane is ready to go again. They probably got to Milwaukee again mid-evening last night after a little champagne celebration. So these guys shouldn't be too tired. And the Mets did rest a couple of their players in the second game because their spot was set. And look, if you think about their point of view going into Game 2, it was either fly back to Milwaukee to play the Brewers or fly all the way to San Diego to play the Padres.
True.
So I'm not sure, you can't throw a baseball game, but I think the Mets are probably okay with this being the outcome and take their chances, even though the Brewers won 5 of 6 during the regular season and have kind of had the Mets number.
Hey, Adam, are you moving? You sound slightly out of breath. You got to pace yourself.
Well, I am because I'm running because of this roster thing. So I'm running in to try to get to a Devin Williams. We're already starting to talk to players at noon, so I'm running in to try to get there. We're up to I guess that's how this time of year goes. You kind of run from one thing to the next.
That's exactly how it is. And a 4:32 first pitch. I must ask you this, Adam, because I'm happy to see Sal Frelick on the roster because it seems like the last several postseasons, there's always been just some bit of bad news going into the series. Brandon Woodruff's injury cropped up last year before the postseason. A couple years back, Devin Williams had a hand injury after punching a wall or something like that after a night out.
That's right.
Like, there's just been a bizarre sequence of issues going into the postseason that sort of leave you feel a little deflated. We don't have that, at least, not this year yet.
Yeah, I would probably wager to guess that that's true for most teams where something pops up. I mean, think about the Atlanta Braves. Chris Sale gets scratched yesterday for a must-win game because he's got a back issue. He's not going to pitch for them in the wild card series. You have the Mets with Francisco Lindor kind of being off and on in the last, 2 weeks or so, 10 days or so with the back issue. He's going to play in this series, so he was kind of questionable. I mean, it's partly sort of par for the course for this time of year where these guys are kind of grinding to the finish line and something comes up. Well, and the Yankees, too, just as I'm thinking about it. Anthony Rizzo broke his hand in one of the Yankees' last game of the season. So that sort of thing happens in baseball, and the teams that are able to overcome those sorts of things are the ones that have success because nobody's roster at this time of year is entirely intact.
So, Adam, you said you're running over to talk to the players at noon. 2 questions. Number 1, how fast do you actually run? And 2, who are you hoping to talk to the most, and what are you asking as we get ready for this game against the Mets?
Well, we have Devin. Part of the way the postseason works is teams will bring in the manager and a player or 2 to this interview room set up before every game. And yes, it happens at noon for a game that's at 4:30. And it's Devin Williams, the closer, who's probably not going to do any action if he gets into this game for, 7 hours? So it's a very long day for a lot of these guys. So that's sort of the setup of how these things work. And then in the postseason, the reporters no longer have access to the locker room before games. So you have to get guys or coaches or whoever you want on the field before the game. And look, I mean, we were able to talk to these guys yesterday, so at the workout. So we've gotten. I'm a little curious to ask players what they think about the roof status because that always comes up, and I know it's a matter of real interest. It's going to be closed, and I was talking to one of the players yesterday who was really rooting for it to be closed. They say that it makes a huge difference, A, for the atmosphere and the noise. And B, if you think about a game at 4:30, the lighting, the shadows are always a little wonky when you get those mid-afternoon postseason games. And even though the windows are still a factor with the lights coming in those side windows, the roof does help mitigate some of that. And So from a player's point of view, this guy was a hitter. You want it closed. So I know the fans feel differently when it's a beautiful day and the atmosphere is so good here when the roof's open, but I think the players would prefer it closed for these games.
Good stuff. Brewers.com writer Adam McCalvey, you collect your thoughts here, get your questions ready. We'll see you at the ballpark later today.
Yeah, I'll get my breath. I'm glad that was evident on the radio.
I do.
Great start.
I've known you too long. I was just able to pick up on something there. We also have a video webcam following your every move.
And you didn't answer the question as to how fast you run, Adam. How fast do you run?
Oh, he can move.
Well, I don't know if I can anymore. I would say Eisenhower High School cross country, I was all right. But that's a long time ago, guys.
Good stuff, Adam. Enjoy today. We'll see you later on.
See ya.
Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental.
Some breaking news from overseas. The United States earlier today said it believed Iran was preparing for an imminent ballistic missile attack against Israel following Israel's launch of a ground operation in southern Lebanon targeting Iran-backed Hezbollah. Well, just about 5 minutes ago, it's confirmed missiles have been launched from Iran to Israel, according to Israeli Defense Forces. In a statement they released, sirens now sounding all across Israel, and this is a developing situation, but it confirms what the United States said they believed was going to happen from earlier today.
No, this is Tel Aviv. So my apologies if I identify a city incorrectly. We are looking at the images coming in just as you are seeing them. This is Tel Aviv. It is 7:45 right now in the evening in Tel Aviv. It is really dinner hour. Dinner hour disrupted just moments ago by the sounds of air raid sirens as the IDF confirmed, the White House warned, that Tehran would be launching a missile attack against Israel after the incursion into Lebanon. So let's go back to how we got here. On October 7th, approximately 1 year ago, Hamas launched that massive attack against Israel in which 1,200 members of the Israeli population were killed. They were brutally killed, some of them raped and some of them butchered. And then that led to the Israeli response against Hamas. 45,000 people later are now dead as a result of the Israeli airstrikes and ground incursion into Gaza, many of those Hamas fighters. During that time, there have been back and forth missile strikes, rocket launches between Hezbollah to the north and Israel to the south. Most of those rockets have been intercepted, with the possible exception of one that fell on a crowded playground in which a small child was killed. That was the first escalation. The second escalation then came roughly 2 weeks ago, when all of a sudden pagers and cell phones across Lebanon started exploding without any warning, and people were rushed to the hospital. I don't remember the exact number of people that were killed. The producers will tell me in my ear in just a moment, but some 2,000 to 3,000 people were injured, and these were not wounds. These were very serious wounds, and depending on where the particular pager or cell phone was located. In many cases, it was located near their hip. In other cases, they might have had a cell phone up to their ear, and the wound would be a wound to eye. Doctors reported that we talked to.
It's from our news partners at Scripps, confirmed that Iran has launched missiles toward Israel, according to a statement from Israeli military forces, about 7:45 or so in the evening, so a little past the dinner hour as this news is breaking. We'll keep you updated throughout the day here on WTMJ.
Frank Daniels, our Madison Goldsmith, has an idea.
Bring him in.
Hey, Rick. Hey, Sarah. Hi, Monica.
It's great to see you, Frank. What's your idea?
It's a new company policy.
Let's hear it.
You know the world-famous Kessler's warranty?
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple. Even if you lose a diamond, including the center stone, we'll replace it. All maintenance is free forever. Yes, it really is that miraculous.
Every time I hear that warranty, it blows my mind.
I propose we have a jewelry cleaning policy that's as amazing as that warranty.
What would it say?
Bring us your jewelry and we'll professionally clean it. While you wait, for free. You can come in as often as you want, and we don't care where you bought your jewelry. The only thing that matters is that you want it to look amazing again. We want that too.
I vote yes.
I vote yes. I vote yes. The motion carries.
Congratulations, Frank. Your idea is now company policy.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Since 1964, we've changed your
tires, and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
When is the last time you paid less but got more in return? It happens every day if you or a loved one has Medicare Advantage. $0 copays and an average of $2,500 less out-of-pocket annually, but more benefits like dental, hearing, and vision. More prevention and screenings to keep people healthy. More care for less money. No wonder 33 million seniors choose Medicare Advantage. Visit MedicareAdvantageMajority.org to learn more. Paid for by Medicare Advantage Majority.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
It's Tech Tuesday with ABC News technology reporter Mike Dubusky.
We're not sure if he will be a judge in the upcoming AI beauty pageant, but he is our guest every Tuesday on Tech Tuesday.
The latest and greatest in the world of tech.
Tesla's next product, they call it a robo-taxi. These are AR glasses. They're called simply the Frame.
On Wisconsin's Midday News.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo.
Tech Tuesday on a Tuesday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. Our chance to check in with ABC tech expert. It is Mike Dubusky. Hello, Mike.
Hey, guys. How are you?
You're doing well. So you're working feverishly to follow the rapid pace with which everything artificial intelligence is growing. So why is it that OpenAI is actually appearing to take a bit of a step back? Why are people leaving OpenAI when it appears to be the thing of the future?
Yeah, shrinking. It's interesting. So in the last week, we've seen three major figures at OpenAI leave the company, the most prominent of which was Mira Murati. She was the chief technology officer at OpenAI. She was behind the launch of products that you've probably heard about, ChatGPT among them. And she's all over the company's sort of demonstration videos. She's all over the launch events. She was a really public face of OpenAI. And now she's leaving because she, quote, wanted to create the time and space to do my own exploration. On the same day that she announced she was leaving last week, the company's chief research officer and one of their vice presidents also announced their departures. And it kind of sent shockwaves through the AI space, guys, to the point where Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, came out and said, I obviously don't pretend that it's natural for this change to be so abrupt, but we are not a normal company.
The more I think about this, though, the more it's really interesting because OpenAI hasn't just lost employees, it's also rehired some familiar faces.
That is true. Yes, they've kind of gone back and forth with some of their employees, and some of the high-profile people who have left the company have come back. Greg Brockman left the company during the leadership struggle last November, kind of in solidarity with Sam Altman, but he also returned to the company, in pretty short order. For what it's worth, they are also, kind of a valuable company as well. They seem to be doing pretty well, at least when it comes to, investors' valuation of them. They are about to complete their second round of investor donations this week. They are valued at near $150 billion, but that is more than 37 times what revenue they make. And this company is still not profitable. They don't have a sort of money-making operation here. So it is a fraught moment for this AI company as they try to make this transition into being a for-profit enterprise, it seems. I think that's also going to catch the eye of regulators, particularly California, who aren't always fans of when nonprofits become for-profits.
Mike, innovation is the lifeblood of all companies in the tech space, and there's a new toy out from Google that you had a chance to play with. What is it?
Yeah, that's right. So this is called Notebook LM, and Notebook LM, it's a note-taking tool that Google first launched last year, but there's a new feature within it that's been getting some attention. So Notebook LM was created with the intention of making it easier for students to study. So you can upload notes that you took in a lecture or a PDF of a research paper or something like that to this service, and it would essentially create a little study guide for you using artificial intelligence. Last month, Google launched a new tool where you can upload that same material, notes, research papers, like text, dense text and that type of thing, and it will create a short AI-generated podcast for you. Two hosts that are artificially generated, a man's voice and a woman's voice, chatting back and forth, bantering, making jokes, and ultimately trying to explain the document that you uploaded. So I got a chance to play around with it. I uploaded the lawsuit, actually, that the DOJ filed against Google over their ad services business that's playing out in the courts right now, and it spat back this little clip that I'll play for you now.
Welcome everyone to another deep dive. Today we're going to be unraveling something you interact with every single day online but probably don't think much about: online advertising. And more specifically, we're going to take a magnifying glass to Google's role in this often invisible world.
So I'm not going to play the whole thing for you because it's 13 and a half minutes long, but you get the gist, right? That this is a long, multi-page legal document, very dense, very hard to kind of plow through if you're not a lawyer. And it's explained, in a pretty human-sounding, human-adjacent sort of voice. Interestingly enough, there's usually two voices that this system generates. I could only get it to generate the one woman's voice, but that is that. And I think it sounds really natural because it has that sort of vocal pause in it. The voice puts in ums and ahs and various sort of verbal mistakes that make it sound kind of a little bit more human, a little bit more like a podcast. And that's how Google envisions it being used.
Sure. All of a sudden you hear her say, "Oops, wait, let me go back." It did really sound human. Like, I'm wondering, can you put your health insurance documents in from work when they say, "Hey, we're switching plans," and you got to go through just that whole mess of stuff and try to figure it out?
Yeah, that is kind of the idea here. There are some limitations, like, for example, you can't upload a paywalled news article or something like that. It won't be able to get around that. But yeah, it's pretty broad ranging, and they say you can upload things like YouTube videos, and it will understand what the YouTube video is saying, and then create a podcast out of that. It's pretty wide ranging, but as we talk about, whenever we talk about artificial intelligence tools, we have to say that these things are unreliable, right? They still make mistakes, they still hallucinate, they still make stuff up, and Google itself says that this tool is not meant to be comprehensive or objective. It's meant to rather be a reflection of your notes.
ABC's Mike Dubusky on Tech Tuesday. We appreciate it, Mike. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Of course, guys. Take care.
When you walk into your bathroom, is it turn this into this? With our SiteX Creepiest Tub or Shower Contest. Enter a picture of your creepy tub or shower space at WTMJ.com for a chance to win a brand new complete tub or shower conversion installed at no cost, up to a $10,000 value. Enter your picture by texting CREEPY to the WTMJ talk and text line. It's the Creepiest Shower Contest, only here on WTMJ.
Hey, it's Greg Manzik here. I want to tell you about Flanner's Home Entertainment, the go-to place when it comes to upgrading the technology at your house, right? Bigger screen, better resolution, better sound, all that is waiting for you at locally owned Flanner's. They've been doing it right for decades. In fact, going to Flanner's, it's a treat. It was growing up, still is today. Got a great store in West Dallas, Grafton, and of course, anytime online at Flanners.com. It is sound advice at the best price. The solutions and installation experts are there for you at Flanners. They've got ideas. You can even sell used equipment back to Flanners. If you're just looking for basic speakers, they got you covered. If you're looking for the big stuff, the built-in stuff, they can do that too. Really is one-stop shopping. It's Flanners. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ. In this real estate market, you need an aggressive real estate agent. Milwaukee Realty pays for client home inspections and well inspections for their buyers and sellers. That's aggressive. Ask your favorite agent if they will, and then call Milwaukee Realty.
Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, and I want to talk about exactly what we do. When you come here, you're going to get 2 shots with 2 very small needles. One will be a medication called Toradol, which is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, completely different from a standard steroid or cortisone injection. This medication is safe and a great pain reliever. The other will be hyaluronic acid, which is a naturally occurring fluid found in all of our joints. What hyaluronic acid does is it helps recoat the inside surfaces to provide cushioning and lubrication. It helps slow down the osteoarthritis process to a point where patients may not need surgery. All of this combined with using our state-of-the-art Ultra G machine developed by NASA has produced profound results. What we do works. And the best part about this is that insurance covers most of our patients' treatments. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Let's see who the Brewers are playing today. It's the Mets.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Vientos K. Nimmo K. Alonso K.
Our coverage of Game 1 of the Wild Card Series starts today at 3:55. Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental on your home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 12:03. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's October 1st. Your top story, an all-out attack against Israel.
I'm Jessica Ty. Campaign stops here in Milwaukee today.
Partly cloudy, breezy, and cooler today. Roof closed at American Family Field, a high of 67. Wednesday, sunny and a high of 72. 64 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:04. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom. Iran has fired missiles into Israel, and residents are ordered to remain close to bomb shelters as air raid sirens sounding across the country today. It's the evening hour, about 8 o'clock or so. And Israel and the United States have warned there would be severe consequences in the event of an attack on Israel from Iran, which backs the militant group Hezbollah in Lebanon. Americans in Israel are being ordered to shelter in place.
Decision, Wisconsin. It's a busy day in the race for president, especially here in the Banter State. Former President Donald Trump is back in Wisconsin just days after his campaign stop in Prairie du Chien. He'll speak at Dane Manufacturing in Waunakee at 1:30 this afternoon, so about an hour and a half away. Then he heads here to Milwaukee for a press conference at Discovery World. That's at 5 p.m. Also in Milwaukee this evening, second gentleman Doug Emhoff. He's expected to speak at 4:05. Location for that one has not been publicly disclosed. And this all leads up to the first and potentially only vice presidential debate on CBS tonight. Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz will debate in New York City at 8 p.m. our time.
The Wisconsin Department of Justice is investigating a death in the village of Caledonia. Racine police tried to stop a vehicle involved in a hit and run earlier in the day on Monday. The suspect fled from police and crashed into a tree near 4 Mile Road and Main Street and died at the scene. Law enforcement involved in the chase are on administrative leave.
An air of skepticism at the first of this week's Milwaukee Public Schools town halls concerning the district's recently released long-range facilities plan. It's a plan that could lead to closing some school buildings. Alderwoman Charlene Moore tells TMJ4 overall, the first presentation by the district was a failure.
We know that there's some things that need to happen, but the administration first needs to share with us where things are financially.
This facilities plan also includes options for schools such as mergers and building additions. It does not list which schools are being considered for those options.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the red today. The Dow down about 276 points at 42,054. NASDAQ way off today, about 355 points in the red at 17,833. S&P 500 also down today, about 69 points at 5693. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Sounding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:06.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic void. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and Chris are live from the Bucks Foundation golf outing. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
This Thursday, Milwaukee PBS and Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel present a special town hall meeting on the future of manufacturing. This open-to-the-public event will be held at the Cooley Auditorium at MATC Downtown Campus. This event is being recorded for a special television broadcast, and a job fair will also take place. The Future of Manufacturing Town Hall Thursday at MATC's Cooley Auditorium. Job fair at 3, town hall begins at 4:30. For more information, visit MilwaukeePBS.org.
Save big money right now at Menards. Did you know the attic is a home's #1 source of heat loss? Adding fiberglass insulation to your attic is an effective way to keep warm air in and lower your utility bills by 15%. Plus, you can stack on more savings with additional federal tax credits on qualifying energy-efficient upgrades. Stop into Menards today and check out all the ways for insulating your home and save.
Save big money at Menards.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Freddie Peralta on the mound, earning the Game 1 start for Pat Murphy against the Mets.
Having Freddie on the mound in Game 1 is good. Doesn't guarantee us anything, but I trust him. So we'll go as far as we can with him and then go to the next guy and next guy and next guy and try to do what we can to win tonight.
Peralta, one of 12 pitchers on the Brewers wild card roster. Coverage of today's game against the Mets. Wild card Game 1 begins at 3:55. Brew October sponsored by Delta Dental. And the Packers likely not going to have wide receiver Christian Watson available for Sunday's game against the Rams due to an ankle injury.
Well, I don't want to jinx this, but as we go to the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic, it is much better than it was at this time yesterday. We don't have any crashes to let you know about, which is fantastic news. A couple disabled vehicles out on the system. Let me tell you about one of them. Disabled vehicle on the exit to Hampton Avenue from 4145 north, but it looks like traffic is moving along okay. And then as we go over closer out in Waukesha County here, we've got I-94 West beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 164. That's where County J is. The right shoulder is blocked there due to a car that's broken down. And that one looks like a semi, so traffic is moving a little bit slower around that one just to get by and kind of have some gawkers too.
What is it, the calm before the storm? Right, you got a Brewers game, you've got Trump coming to town, you've got
the semi along the side of the road broken down.
Second gentleman imhoff here, like things are going to ramp up this afternoon. I get the feeling.
Yes, you're right, and traffic will not be so smooth just because. I mean, we hope the motorcades all go through and everything just fine because we have seen them not go through fine in the past. But yeah, it will definitely get a lot busier. But for now, things are good.
And a reminder, parking lots open up at 1:30 this afternoon for the Brewers game, 3 hours in advance of game time for the playoffs. As for the weather today, roof's going to be closed for the game, partly cloudy, breezy, a little cooler, topping out about 67, windy as well. Tonight, a low of 39 inland. Wednesday, sunny and a high of 72. 64 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:10.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
I'm not often one to give the birthday shout-out, but the sweetest 8-year-old turned 8 today. So happy birthday to my daughter, Kendall. She's in class right now, of course. As a second grader, she turned 8 at the stroke of midnight. She wanted to get up early to see her bedroom. That was her big gift. She wanted a bedroom makeover. So it's themed. There's more stuff in it than she's used to having. We did some rearranging.
Did you paint it sage or coral? What color did you go with?
She got to pick out her paint color, and it's a really nice shade of pink. She had gray walls beside that and white trim. So
oh yeah, gray's out.
But she wanted more of a jungle cat sort of theme.
Fun.
So there's there's some great paintings that go along with the color paint wall. But we had a lot of fun, including Big Sister piecing together her room. So we had a grand unveiling this morning, and she was thrilled. For being 6:30 in the morning, she was very excited.
Well, happy birthday. That's fantastic.
Yes, we are very excited for her, so we hope she has a great day. It's 12:12 on WTMJ. Hey, some big stories and some breaking news that we're following here this afternoon.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
We are on top of breaking news here on Midday. Sirens are sounding across Israel as the country braces for the influx of missiles launched from Iran. This is according to Israeli Defense Forces. It is unclear right now the level of destruction at this point, but at least some of those missiles have been intercepted. Earlier this morning, the White House warned of the impending attack. A senior White House official said, quote, a direct military attack from Iran against Israel will carry severe consequences from Iran. Once again, this is breaking news that we're following for you at midday, and we'll bring you updates as we get them.
And it's about 8:15 or so in the evening overseas. Here in Wisconsin, a Badger State two-step for Donald Trump today. In the hours leading up to tonight's vice presidential debate, Trump will campaign in 2 locations in Wisconsin. First, at a manufacturing facility just outside of Madison in Waunakee. It's his first ever campaign event in the Madison area, largely Democratic controlled in that area. Kamala Harris, the Democratic folks, have set up satellite office after satellite office in that area. Trump is doing his best to win over voters in Dane County. He's also expected to host an event tonight at Discovery World. That'll get underway about 5 o'clock. His second trip to the state in 5 days. Trump held a rally in Prairie du Chien over the weekend.
Let's get wild. The Wild Card Series.
It's here.
Parking lots open at 1:30 this afternoon at American Family Field. And first pitch between the Brewers and Mets is scheduled for 4:32. The Mets are a veteran team. Pat Murphy's Brewers are the youngest team vying for a World Series.
The numbers are out the windows now. I mean, it doesn't matter. Now it's about win tonight. And they've kind of been doing that all year. So I feel very, very fortunate to have a group of people that are that competitive and look at the game that way.
The Mets are back in Milwaukee after leaving on Sunday, flying to Atlanta, and playing a doubleheader against the Braves yesterday. Coverage of today's game, by the way, begins at 3:55 here on WTMJ, and I feel like we should also let people know the roof is going to be closed.
Yeah, maybe a little chilly for your tailgate and a little breezy, trying to make sure you got some weights for those tents if you got them flying around. You don't want them flying around, I should say. But the roof is going to be closed.
And it's sunny, so that's nice too. Brew October, sponsored by Delta Dental.
12:14 on WTMJ. Hey, a cool opportunity here in the city of Milwaukee for an expanded Riverwalk project. We've got the details behind it after this.
It's like playing baseball in the house.
Mom, Dad broke the window.
Without the risk of...
Again.
That. Every Thursday at 8:40, play virtual baseball on Wisconsin's Morning News. Step up to the virtual plate and test your mettle against the best.
Swing and a drive to right.
It's virtual baseball, presented by Siding Unlimited. Only played here on WTMJ.
Protecting your family's legacy since 1999, talking about Krause Estate Planning and Elder Law Center. Greg Matzik here. If you've reached that point in your life where maybe it's time to get that estate plan or will pieced together, you can do it with the help of Krause Estate Planning. They understand how it all works. It's not an easy process, but they make it easy. They walk you through from start to finish. It's no cookie-cutter approach here. It's a customized plan for you to protect what you've earned and protect what has been built. It's Krause Estate Planning and Elder Law Center. Visit estateplanningpeople.com. You can also connect with Dan Krause and the team at their new office in Brookfield. They have existing offices in Madison and just south of Madison in Oregon. If you have specific questions about Medicare, check out SaveMomsAssets.com. Two different websites, two different bits of information, all tied to Krause Estate Planning. Have them help you through the process.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. You've heard me talk about the wonderful new retractable awning the team at Comfort Awnings installed at my home. Now I can have all the cookouts and get-togethers in my backyard with some extra shade and relaxation for my guests. Comfort Awnings is a local family-owned company in Burlington that provides expert installation in southeast Wisconsin and northern Illinois. In October, you can receive a free motor with the purchase of any awning or screen. Their best deal yet. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit ComfortAwnings.com to learn more.
Well, kind of a cool day. It's going to be fall-like temperatures. 67, your high today. Mainly cloudy, a little breezy as well. Roof closed for today's game. Tonight, dipping into the upper 30s inland. Oof. Turn off the air tomorrow. Beautiful day. High of 72 under sunny skies. 64 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:17.
Big money is coming in from Milwaukee's Riverwalk. We're talking about nearly $15 million from the federal government. So how will this transform the city's Riverwalk and your experience in the years ahead? Well, let's find out. The Department of City Development Commissioner Lafayette Crump joins us live in the studio. Thanks for being here, Commissioner.
Good afternoon. My pleasure to be here.
So we get a lot of press releases, and, oftentimes you read them and it says money's going to this, money's going to that. But I saw this news come in and I thought, wow, almost $15 million. And something I took note of, it said, this project is a generational opportunity. How so?
Well, it truly is a generational opportunity to make a change to our Riverwalk, to add in and sort of close a missing gap that's been there, and really connect different parts of our city to one another along the river. And you just don't get these opportunities that often. We're very grateful to the Wisconsin Department of Transportation, as well as the Biden administration, which made this possible through the Infrastructure Act, through this TAP grant that we got to really improve and make the Riverwalk a place where everybody can go and enjoy it.
So when we're talking about the Riverwalk, what section for people kind of paint the picture of where exactly this area is, where this money is going to be devoted to?
Sure. So this is right in the Harbor District, along the area where the new Komatsu development is. We've been just had a wonderful working relationship with Komatsu from the time that they decided this is where they were going to make this investment and come into somewhat of an underutilized area in our city. Not anymore. And so this area will have not just the connection of the Riverwalk, but it'll help to support things like the desk, like the node, to make people able to experience the water more while they're hanging out in that area.
So it's kind of connecting and enhancing, really, is what it is. And I remember just when I moved to Milwaukee after college, you maybe take a boat to go to the Rock Bottom or to the Ale House, but there was really no connective tissue for those who were walking. You kind of had to dodge traffic or stay on the sidewalk. But this has really become part of the fabric of downtown Milwaukee along that river, trying to make more use of that space.
That's right, and I love that you've put it together that way, because it's one of the hallmarks of the Johnson administration is that we want people to be able to move around this city in multiple different ways, whether it be via automobile, but also bike, and certainly walking, and as you mentioned, boats. But being able to walk along, this beautiful stretch of the city. The water is one of the things that makes Milwaukee special, and we've got the benefit of not just having a lake like some communities have, not just having rivers like some communities have, but having both, and having all of these different walkways along the river makes it a pretty special place.
Have you heard from the community? Because I always feel like any spot, if you can do anything, if there's a piece of land and you can do something there along the water, whether it's the river or the lake, do it. It just seems like a no-brainer. But have you heard from the community that they want this?
Well, one of our partners in this work is the Harbor District, which is they're truly great ambassadors for that part of the city. And so we've been very fortunate to have them working along as a part of this process, helping with manage and oversee what happens along the river. And you're right that people love the water about Milwaukee, but what we also want to do, Mayor Johnson talks about this often, is that there are kids in certain parts of the city who don't see the lake until they're in their late teens or even their early 20s. And it's really important to us that everybody in this city know that the water is there for them. It's part of the reason that we do this Riverwalk construction, so that even when you have private developments along the river, you still have that public access to it. So there are certainly those parties within the community who are excited about it. But what excites us even more is the number of individuals who will now have access to the water who didn't previously.
Can you walk us through a timeline of sorts now that funding's been secured, when it starts, ideal completion time, and so on?
Sure. Starting in spring of 2025 is when we expect some of the major construction to start to occur. We'll be doing bids, obviously, prior to that, and there will be sort of the initial Riverwalk construction. But then in addition to that, a building will be constructed, the node, and some of the other areas, as I mentioned. So I believe late 2025, we would anticipate a lot of this being ready.
And what about being done? I know that's a hard question because there's always delays, let's be honest. I mean, it's hard to get something on time, but when do we think this could actually come to fruition? And then when you close your eyes and you think about that date, what do you envision?
Well, yeah, that kind of late 2025 period, we would expect for this to be complete. And what I envision is just more and more people taking advantage of walking well along the river, not just sort of camping out in one area along that river, but making an afternoon of it, making a morning of it, and stopping and experiencing different spots. We were chatting a little bit before that, a couple times I've been able to get in a kayak and take either a tour of the river or even stop out and, have a drink at some of the establishments along the river. But seeing that happen, as well as seeing families walk along that area throughout the year, is going to be really exciting. It's just one more piece of making Milwaukee inviting, not just for those who call Milwaukee home, but for visitors as well.
Kind of the if you build it, they will come scenario here. But if you have this expanded Riverwalk, is there an opportunity to further develop those places, establishments that you're talking about that would have access from the river?
Oh, 100%. One of the things that we have seen is that, first of all, that additional vibrancy promotes not only excitement and safety. The more eyes you have in a particular area, but also development begets more development. And as we build this stretch, make it open to more people, make it inviting to more people, there will 100% be other stretches that people want to come fill in those gaps and build even more along the river.
It's so interesting that you say that because my mom and I went to go have a cocktail a few weeks back over at Twisted Fisherman and look out to the water there, and she was saying, gosh, my stepdad and her used to go and they would boat in that area. She said there really was nothing over in that spot. So it was so neat for her to see the changes. And then my husband and I were kayaking and we kind of went over by the Hone Bridge, but then decided to go over by Twisted Fisherman as well and just see that area. And it is fascinating to see how much growth we've had, but how many areas still have possibilities here in Milwaukee.
That's right. We're not close to being done. And when you think about not just the experience that you can have on the water, but then having that experience next to the water and continuing to create those experiences for people, making water and access to the water a part of people's lives. When you look at population growth worldwide and why settlements are where they are, it is almost always because of a source of water. And we are so fortunate to have so many different access points to the water in this city, and we absolutely have to continue to make great use of them.
Looking forward to it getting up and running. I love walking on there. It's safe, right? We get the family downtown. We're walking around. That's typically where we go. It's just a fun place to explore Milwaukee.
That's right. And more and more we're seeing groups like the Harbor District, like some of our other business improvement districts and other community organizations thinking about how they program along the water. You see that in the 3rd Ward. You see it in other parts of the city as well. And so the more that we make those connections and connect the dots along the Riverwalk, we will see more and more of that as well. And it's just going to be really, really exciting.
Maybe we need to get a poll going of like what kind of statue we would have in this area once this is all done, because we've got the bronze fawns, we've got Gertie the duck. This area is going to need something too.
Yeah, I think one of the Wisconsin's Midday News crew would be kind of nice.
Yeah, I don't think that's
self-serving. Well, I need something for birds to poop on, right?
I was thinking maybe a great Revolutionary War hero, maybe someone French. I don't know the names. Is Lafayette? There you go.
Yeah, now you're
Commissioner
thinking ahead. Commissioner Lafayette Crump joining us here for the City of Development Department. Appreciate your time.
Thank
good
you.
luck with the project.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
1226 on WTMJ.
I'm Kamala Harris. Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class families, like the one I grew up in, they want common sense solutions. You want lower prices and lower taxes. I believe you want to just not get by, but you want to get ahead. We must create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to get a car loan, buy a home, start a business. And I believe we can make that happen.
Kamala Harris's plan? Bring down costs by cracking down on corporate price gougers. Make homeownership more affordable for families. A middle-class tax cut for 100 million Americans. And make sure billionaires and big corporations pay their fair share so you can keep more of the money you've earned.
Instead of being focused on the politics of the past, we need to be thinking about the future and how we make it better for families like yours. I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Is thinning hair or receding hairline making you feel self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic.
Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow.
Parents and grandparents, have your kid's birthday party at the amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford or Oshkosh. The party rooms are free, and they'll love the massive game room and pizza with no cooking or cleanup. Book your birthday party at mineshaft.restaurant.com.
When Senator Tammy Baldwin first went to Washington, the big news story was Y2K. And we were partying like it was 1999. Baldwin has been in D.C. for more than 25 years. And after a quarter century, her values are a lot more Washington than Wisconsin. Baldwin supported providing puberty blockers and sex change surgeries to minor children in Wisconsin. And Baldwin supports forcing women's domestic violence shelters in Wisconsin to admit biological men who claim to identify as women. Even though domestic violence survivors say it would be traumatic to be forced to sleep in the same shelters as men. Tammy Baldwin, 25 years in Washington has changed her, and now she's just too extreme for Wisconsin. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Tuesday, October 1st. Your top story, student protesters get their say.
I'm Jessica Ty. Could RFK be an election game changer?
Partly cloudy today, breezy and cooler, a high of just 67 degrees, wind gusts up to 25 miles an hour. Very chilly tonight and a low of 39. Wednesday looks great, sunny with a high of 72. Thursday, sunny and a high of 75. If you're headed to the ballpark, the roof will be closed for first pitch at 4:32. It's 65 and sunny in Milwaukee.
This is a special report from ABC News. Iran targets Israel. I'm Michelle Franzen. Israel's Iron Dome lighting up the night sky after Iran launched a wave of missiles and air raid sirens sounding. A U.S. official estimates more than 200 missiles were launched in retaliation for the death of Hezbollah's leader last week in Lebanon. ABC News learning that Iran may be targeting military installations around Tel Aviv. ABC's Ian Pannell is in Beirut.
Israel has been very clear that if Iran attacks Israel, it is going to respond, and the response is going to be very severe. So we just have to wait and see. 99% of the missiles that were fired at Israel back in April were intercepted.
The White House says the president and vice president are receiving briefings on those developments, and the U.S. says it's readied its defenses in the region. In Tel Aviv, Israeli police say a shooting incident earlier left 4 people dead and others wounded. It's being treated as a terror attack. This is ABC News.
Side at Limited WTMJ News time is 12:31. Disciplinary hearings began at UW-Madison for the student protests from this past spring. Graduate student Vignesh Ramachandran explains his involvement.
I did not plan the encampment. I did not carry out the encampment. I was not camping. I was not picnicking. I did not refuse to comply or make a false statement. What I did do was write an op-ed on behalf of the Movement for Justice in Palestine on campus.
University officials say that op-ed published on May 12th was an admission of the creation of the encampment, which is in violation of university policies. The university is expected to make their decision within 14 days. Ramachandran's co-author has her hearing October 4th.
Decision Wisconsin. The Wisconsin Supreme Court ruled last week Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will remain on the ballot in the Badger State, but will it matter come Election Day? Here's the take on that from the director of the Marquette University Law School poll, Charles Franklin.
I'm on the side that believes it'll have a fairly minimal impact to have him on. We've seen all year long that he draws a few more votes from Republicans than he does from Democrats. And that's the reason why Republicans in the Trump campaign would like him off the ballot.
Support for RFK overall has dwindled from 16% back in January to just 6% last month.
Well, the absentee ballot drop box is back in Wausau. The city's lone drop box is now secured to the ground outside City Hall, according to the guidelines set by the Wisconsin Elections Commission. The issue with the drop box started on September 22nd when Wausau's mayor removed the box, claiming it wasn't secure and that it should be up to the city council to decide whether it should be used. Wausau's clerk sent a letter to the mayor telling him to return the drop box by noon last week Friday, or she would conclude that he was intentionally interfering with an election. When the box wasn't returned, the clerk referred the incident to the Wisconsin Elections Commission and the Marathon County District Attorney for review. There were no ballots inside the drop box when it was removed.
The interstate system where 94 meets 41 became the scene of a deadly crash Monday evening.
The all-lane closure of 94 westbound started at the scene of the crash near Moreland Road in Waukesha County, but quickly extended all the way to the Zoo interchange. The DOT says a 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee struck the median wall, lost control, and crossed all lanes of traffic, then striking the concrete barrier on the right shoulder. All 3 occupants of the vehicle were transported to the hospital. 93-year-old Mary Phyllis of Colgate died of her injuries. The driver, 57-year-old Elizabeth Phyllis, and 70-year-old Deborah Godis, also from Colgate, are expected to be all right. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Siding Unlimited WTMJ News time is 12:34.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ansay.com. That's ANSAY.com.
Hey, want to invite you to be a part of a survey that we have going on. It's a WTMJ Fall 2024 Fan Survey. Take you about 10 minutes to complete. Just looking for some feedback here. If you'd like to participate, simply text the word survey to the WTMJ talk and text line. It's 855-616-1620. We'll get a link sent back to your mobile device. And as a thank you, upon completion of the survey, you'll be entered to win a package that includes pair of Bucks tickets for the upcoming season and an overnight stay at the Pfister. So text the word survey to our talk and text line at 855-616-1620.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Injuries happen, but you don't have to play in pain or stay on the sidelines. Whether it's your kids dealing with a sports injury, college athletes, or the rest of us weekend warriors, the experts at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin will quickly diagnose your problem, lay out a treatment plan that works for you, and get you back in the game. They fixed my knee. My mother-in-law is back on the dance floor with a new hip. These are the experts you can trust. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Hi, I'm Jordan Miller, third-generation owner of All Right. If your home was damaged by the recent storm, be wary of out-of-town contractors, a.k.a. storm chasers. These crews follow the radar, flock to areas with hail, wind, and even tornado damage. Then help homeowners file insurance claims, make a profit, and hit the road. It is crucial you find a local company. Learn more at ALLRITE remodeling.com.
All right, home and remodeling.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers and Mets this afternoon. Game one of a three-game, or I should say best of three, wild card series. It's Freddie Peralta on the mound for Pat Murphy today.
Having Freddie on the mound in game one is good. Doesn't guarantee us anything, but I trust him. So we'll go as far as we can with him and then go to the next guy and next guy and next guy and try to do what we can to win tonight.
Coverage of today's game begins at 3:55. Brewers playoff coverage and Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental.
Let's get you out to the roads right now. Get you an update with your TMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. We're looking okay right now. No crashes to let you know about. Most of the disabled vehicles out in the system. Oh, go figure. One just popped up. We do have a crash. 41 north. It's about 2.5 miles beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 145. Right shoulder is blocked due to a crash, but that's very new. So as I take a peek, I'm not seeing any slowdowns yet, but that could change because it's so new. Once again, the only new crash we have, 41 north, about 2.5 miles beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 145. Right shoulder is blocked because of it.
Cloudy and breezy today, a high of 67. Chilly tonight, a low of 39. Wednesday looks great, sunny with a high of 72. 65 degrees in Milwaukee and sunny at 12:39.
The battle is on. What will be named the coolest thing made in Wisconsin this year? We're down to the top 16, Greg.
I love this because every year it's a reminder of how many cool things are made in the state, but I always look for like the local and the hyper-local,
Exactly.
right? Like what's in our backyard versus, I don't know, in Green Bay or Prairie du Chien or something like that.
And you should vote on this. You have until 5 o'clock tonight to cast your vote in the first round here. This is a competition that pits products like Jolly Good Soda against a Thorogood Safety Work Boot. That's part of the fun, too. Paper towels made in Wisconsin against the Works Burger Blend Seasoning. Wait, paper towels made in Wisconsin?
That's right.
Yep, I didn't know either until this competition. Bravo paper towels are made by Sellers, a Milwaukee-based manufacturer of paper products. So what's cool about paper towels? Let's find out. Greg, are you about to spill something?
We already had a spill here from our Potawatomi food drop yesterday, so this actually times out pretty well. We had
And it's somehow
some
still
buffalo
there.
wing sauce somehow on our table. Whatever, we can clean that up, I'm sure.
Michelle Gross, VP of Marketing at Sellers, joins us live in the studio. And I'm not going to lie, as soon as you came in with the paper towels, I wanted to open them up for some reason. I just want to get my hands on them. And I'm surprised at how soft they are. And this is not a commercial. I'm surprised at how soft and flexible they are.
Yeah, they are a wonderful product, really a cloth-like feel. It's almost like using like a real rag in your kitchen, which is phenomenal. But the unique feature of Bravo is actually they're made with 90% recycled materials. And they're super strong and super absorbent. So you're not compromising any performance, and you're getting that sustainability aspect, which is phenomenal.
So how did you get involved in this contest, right? Every year I look at this and say, wow, I didn't know that was made in Wisconsin. Maybe it's a product I haven't heard of. And, of course, there are some, like Jessica mentioned, Jolly Good Soda, that I'm very familiar with. How do you get into this competition among the coolest things made in the state?
Well, we're just trying to get the word out on Bravo. We launched it about 1.5 years ago, and so we're looking for opportunities, and we heard about the contest, and we just submitted our product and nominated it. And then we told all of our employees, families, and friends, you got to keep voting for us. And we learned last week that we were in the Sweet 16. The number 12 seed, and actually, I love basketball, and I'm always doing the NBA brackets. I always pick the 5-12 upsets.
12 always beats the 5,
I'm
right?
feeling
there you go.
great about our chances, but there's still time to vote, as you mentioned.
So these are so durable that they can be rinsed and reused again. I'm wondering.
I know, it's really hard to believe, but it's true. You can use them, wipe off all of your kitchen, literally wring them out, and then lay them out on your counter to dry, and then use them again. And in fact, crazy story, but true, some of our employees actually forgot them in their pockets when they put them in the wash. And you know when you do that with Kleenex or something else,
it's
it
the
gets
worst.
shredded. It's a mess. You can pull Bravo out, and literally nothing happens. You can use it again. It doesn't rip apart. That's how strong. We use a proprietary technology in the manufacturing of it, and it's super, super durable.
I mean, that's the thing for people watching on streaming. I mean, look at this.
It's like a cloth, not a paper
Okay,
towel.
well, now
but
I've done it many times, but it bounces.
Oh, it definitely does. It's got more integrity. So you brought a package of paper towels here, and they're a little more brownish in color, a little more tan, right? The recycled materials at work. Right. But then you also brought these cool boxes, like these shop boxes, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
So walk me through that.
Sure. So Toolbox brand is our flagship brand. So many people are familiar with this. You can find our shop towels and our white rags at a variety of different home improvement retailers. So the blue shop towels are used in auto shops. You can use them in your garage, changing oil. They're really great for absorbing grease and oil. And they are made with 60% recycled inputs, which is amazing. And then the white rags are really a product that started out with painters using them. So you can use them for painting and wallpapering and staining. DIY consumers are using it for that, plus 1,000 different uses in and around your home. And they also have 45% recycled inputs. So high performance, great for projects in and around your house, and the pros use them as well.
Well, Sellers likes to be green, which is great. A lot of people these days want to help out the environment. Sellers also considers itself an under-the-radar company, and I always love, especially when it's a local company, to learn more about it. It's based in Milwaukee's Northwest Side. How did it start?
Yeah, well, great American entrepreneurial success story. We were founded in 1985 by John Sellers out of his garage.
His garage.
Right. And today, John's youngest brother, Tom, is our CEO and chairman. But throughout the 40-year history, all of the brothers and sisters have been involved in some important capacity. So it's truly a family business, which is phenomenal. Today, we employ over 200 people. We've got 2 large manufacturing facilities on the north side, plus some distribution warehouses. And we're going to be opening up a 3rd facility because of the increased demand for all of our products. So a lot of great growth, really exciting products, and a great company in the area.
Are you adding people then because you're adding that extra facility?
We will be adding manufacturing employees as well when that opens.
And the voting is almost up, right? I mean, the voting started, I think, on the 26th. We brought this up about a week ago. Mm-hmm. I think we did the story as voting was just about to begin. And here we are. The voting is about to close, so people got to get after this.
We got to get after it by 5 o'clock today. We got to get to that Elite 8. We're very excited.
How else are you using sustainable practices at the company?
Well, we use them in our manufacturing processes as well. In fact, over 250 million pounds of recycled material and inputs are used in manufacturing on an annual basis. So it's really about reusing and recycling, and then we're using it to make really great products.
The other thing I'm curious about, because I love supporting local, but I'll tell you what, I when it comes to my paper towels, I don't, because I didn't know until looking into this company that it was local. So now I would love to see the brand walk by. Where can you find the brand?
Yeah, so Bravo just launched in the grocery channel about 1.5 years ago. We're at Sendik's, we're at Woodman's. We just entered Piggly Wiggly, and then we are in select Target stores across the country. None in Milwaukee, unfortunately, but we're also available on Target.com nationwide. So you can get Bravo at any of those places. And we're really trying to grow the grocery business, and hopefully we'll be expanding to other chains soon.
All right, so who are you up against, right? It's a 12-5 matchup. Have you looked at your competition?
I mean,
here?
they're a seasoning blend. Yeah,
a seasoning
blend.
Okay.
So, I mean,
well,
you just want to wipe
you
up
could
that
literally
seasoning blend.
wipe them up,
yeah,
right? They've spilled?
We're hoping to, yes.
Okay, I'm
no,
sure it's delicious.
They look like a great product too, but, Bravo, I think, has got more uses.
Okay, so say you get through the voting ends at 5 o'clock tonight for this first round. If you make it through, who are you looking at as tough competition when it comes to some of those other coolest products made in Wisconsin?
I know the one that I've been looking at is Carbless for sure. That's a big brand. I mean, there was a billboard when I'm coming down the freeway here today. So, they're one of the great products that's up there, including some other food products.
Well, it really is anything from candles to seasoning, like
it
you
really
said,
is.
paper towels to a beverage like Carbless.
Right.
Great partners here at Good Karma Brands. There's a metal shop in Green Bay. There's all sorts of cool stuff. That's why I love this competition. And over 40,000 people have voted. It opens the door to reminding you just how many cool things are made in our state. I love that about this.
Yeah, it's a great U.S. manufacturing success story. So we got to keep it going.
Awesome. I still can't believe that Bucky Badger, the mascot costume, though, didn't make it.
I know.
I thought for sure Bucky Badger mascot
a lot
costume
of
was going
mascot
to be the
costumes
Sweet
made in the
16.
state, yeah.
Yeah. We should mention, too, the effort is between the Wisconsin Manufacturers and Commerce Group and Johnson Financial Group. 130 products were nominated this year. But, yep, we're now down to the top 16. You have until 5 tonight to cast your vote in round 1. You can vote online right now at madeinwis.com. Thanks so much for joining us, Michelle. This was great, and I can't wait to now look for this in the store. Support local. Now you can do it with your paper towels.
We appreciate it. It was a pleasure to be here.
1247 on WTMJ.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
This Thursday, Milwaukee PBS and Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel present a special town hall meeting on the future of manufacturing. This open-to-the-public event will be held at the Cooley Auditorium at MATC downtown campus. This event is being recorded for a special television broadcast, and a job fair will also take place. The Future of Manufacturing Town Hall Thursday at MATC's Cooley Auditorium. Job fair at 3, town hall begins at 4:30. For more information, visit MilwaukeePBS.org.
Hey, Greg Matzik here, talking about a new defense contractor for your house. That's right, it's Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more. Let them do for you what they've done for us over the years, and that's knock every project out of the park. Doors, windows, roofing, siding, you name it. Walk around the house, take some pictures maybe, and then bring them out to Siding Unlimited showroom. It's located in Brookfield. You're going to see dozens of products on display. You'll get a great idea for how those products would look if installed at your house, LP Smart Side Siding, Pella windows and doors, you name it. Right there, the best products and best installation teams, all at Siding Unlimited. I got the awards to prove it. In fact, our house, a shining example of the kind of work that Siding Unlimited does. They're amazing. Located in Brookfield, family-run business, they do it the right way. It's siding and a whole lot more. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
Dan, I love what we do at Inspired Closets.
Can you count the ways?
First of all, we're 100% locally owned, helping families in southeast Wisconsin calm the chaos and eliminate stress. We're not a franchise. And our lifetime warranty and price match guarantee.
Yes, Katie. Milwaukee homeowners have trusted the Anheuser family for 55 years for our commitment to quality, service, and competitive prices.
And we get to work together.
Yeah, that too. Buy local and save money today. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
A wife and husband team.
Those who don't have 20/20 vision usually do something about it. But many who can't breathe freely through their nose just live with it, not realizing they can have 20/20 breathing. At Advent, we're out to change that. With 20/20 breathing, you'll have fewer sinus infections, more energy, you'll sleep better, and you will live better. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. In 2006, Advent pioneered the balloon sinuplasty procedure. And since, thousands of our patients can tell you, this simple 20-minute in-office solution really works. Balloon sinuplasty can give you 20/20 breathing so you can breathe freely through both nostrils with your mouth closed day and night. And that can change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
'67 your high today, kind of cloudy, kind of breezy, fall-like conditions. Roof closed for the ball game tonight. 39 your overnight low. 75 and sunny for your Wednesday. It's 65 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:50. Missiles launched from Iran to Israel. It's breaking news here. It's, coming about 9 o'clock overseas. Iran launched hundreds of missiles at Israel, over 200 missiles launched, some of which were intercepted. Not clear the level of damage right now, but this is something, Jessica, that the U.S. warned was going to happen. They had a bead on this. They knew it was going to happen. They've also said if it does happen, there will be consequences. So it remains to be seen what is going to happen next year in the U.S. response. But Iran has launched hundreds of missiles at Israel, several interceptions. Some have landed as they light up the night sky here overseas.
Yeah, Iran had been ready to strike Israel since early August when Tehran threatened to retaliate for the assassination of Hamas's leader in Tehran. CBS News military consultant Jeff McCausland says Israel now faces a multi-front war.
Israel has got to also be concerned about the fact they are confronted potentially by a four-front war, a war against Hezbollah in the north, a war with the Houthis in the south, a war still ongoing with Hamas, and now this confrontation with Iran.
Iran's mission to the United Nations says that the attack is a legal, rational, and legitimate response to the terrorist acts, posting that message on social media referring to Israel's ground raids into Lebanon.
Sirens sounding across Israel today, with some citizens receiving instructions to seek shelter. Meanwhile, more U.S.-based troops have been told to prepare to deploy to the Middle East as these missiles light up the night sky. Again, it's about 9 o'clock overseas, and Iran has launched hundreds of missiles at Israel. We'll keep you updated on the story throughout the day here on WTMJ.
The Upswing is your place for commerce and community.
A lot of businesses have available space. Creating similar models, especially in the downtown area that invite everyone in, I think that's a winning scenario.
Hosted by Jeff Sherman.
It can't feel like a hotel lobby. No. I walk in 95% of these spaces, I'm like, why am I leaving my house? Because this is cleaner?
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
Any exterior remodeling company can give you a lot of good reasons to get a new roof, siding, windows and doors, or masonry work. Aesthetic appeal alone or just resale value help it all make sense. but I'm compelled to continue to tell you what sets Semper Fi apart from the rest. What you're going to get from Semper Fi is a reputation that is backed by an undeniable stack of proof that we are who we say we are. Our character is guided by a level of trust and accountability which not only holds our teams together, but also keeps our reputation intact. And ultimately, that means leaving you satisfied. So when you're about to make that big investment in your home, isn't that what you want? This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Wrapping up a Tuesday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News here on WTMJ, spanning the state coming up in just a few minutes. Then Wisconsin's afternoon news, which is essentially like Brewers pregame, right? Takes you up to about 3:55. Jessica waving her rally towel.
Got my rally towel, even though this technically isn't the rally towel, but they gave it to us, and it, you can use it as a rally towel. So here I go.
It has the same effect as a rally towel.
It does, yeah.
It also kind of looks like a mini onesie that you might put on a child, right? That's kind of how it's shaped. That Brewers rally towel that the Racing Sausages delivered to us yesterday when we had them in studio.
Yeah, they were fun.
Looking forward to Brewers baseball today. 3:55 coverage begins. If you want to get excited for Brewers baseball, we will leave you with this as created by Eric Bilstad.
From American Family Field here in Milwaukee on an overcast, rainy, cold afternoon for baseball. It's the Brewers against the Minnesota Twins in Game 1 of the championship home season. Bob Uecker. Good to have you back. I never left after last season. Thank you guys for unlocking the door.
Ground ball through the right side and into right field for a base hit. How about the first career hit for Jackson Churio? The 3-2 delivery. High drive, deep right field. Back goes Reynolds. Grand slam. Gone. A grand slam for Bryce Terang. In the air, left and deep. Get up, get out of here, gone. Reese Hoskins has just hit one with the bases loaded. It is back to the wall. Gone. Churio, a grand slam. Wall, grand slam. Fly ball to deep right. Are you kidding me? Another grand slam!
Did he catch it or is it over the fence? There's been no signal. Now it comes. It's a grand slam!
A grand slam!
Jackson Churio just hit one with the bases loaded.
Yelich trying to steal home. Here's the throw to the plate. He's safe! Perkins on the run, going back to the track at the wall. He reaches up. Oh! Blake Perkins got another! Wow! Fly ball center field. Uh-oh. Perkins back. Still back. Leaping. Caught it! Oh, he timed it beautifully. Perkins at the track. At the wall. He reaches up, and Blake Perkins got another! Blake Perkins with one of the catches of the year. Back freely on the warning track. Leaping, and he caught it! It's over! Sal Frelick up and over the yellow line. He robs a homer, and the Brewers end up winning this ball game.
Live in stereo with my main man Jackson Churio.
With a soft liner into center and diving and not making the catches. Hillett gets behind him, and Jackson's off to the races. He's around second. He is sprinting around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. Churio's in there safely. Jackson Churio, a trip around the bases.
Swinging and a rocket to right. Base hit. They win. And they're chasing Jake Bowers into center field. They finally caught him. And the celebration now.
Major League Baseball has been put on notice.
You've got to decide, make the choice that you're going to believe that there's a reason this group ended up first place, wire to wire.
Through October is sponsored by Delta Dental.
At Erickson's Landscape Supply, we have durable, maintenance-free polywood patio furniture and #1 grade treated natural pine Amish-made patio furniture. And we also have a wonderful assortment of concrete benches, statues, and fountains available in a selection you just gotta see to believe. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less, plus a whole